Welcome back everyone, Mark here again with ExoticCar PlayPlace. Today I want to welcome you. I'm going to show you a little bit about my E60 M5. My car here currently has 53,000 kilometers on it, and I want to do a relatively long-term wear and tear summary of how my car is holding up with 53,000 kilometers on it. Yeah, some of you guys are going to say, well, you know what, it's 53,000 kilometers, it should be like new. Well, no, it not necessarily, because 53,000 kilometers when you're only doing 20-mile runs and you're in and out of the car very frequently takes a toll on a car. A lot more than getting in the car, driving it 2,000 miles across the country and then 2,000 miles back. That's not going to take the same amount of toll on a car that you're in and out doing lots of little trips with. So while it seems kind of maybe ridiculous to talk about a car with 53,000 kilometers, I want to show you how the car, and I want to explain to you how the car is holding up with these kind of kilometers. And it's a 2006, so because of its age, it's been sitting around in the garage, but it's had lots of little short trips, never much driven unfortunately on the highway, mostly freeway drives and city drives. It is going to see wear and tear. It's going to see daily wear and tear, and I want to show you what a car looks like of this generation, because 2006 now, we're pretty much 12 years, 13 years. The car is not new anymore by any means, and it's going to have some of that general just sitting around wear and tear. So I'm going to explain to you guys, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to take you for a short drive, and I'll explain the sounds, how it sounds inside. Are there noises? Are there funny sounds coming out of this thing? And I'm going to give you the real meal deal on this car. All right, follow along. Let's go check it out. Let's start from the outside. Actually, let's move along to the back. Let's just say a car with 50,000 kilometers on it, you should be on original tires. Well, this is an M5, so there's no such thing as original rear tires on these cars in 50,000 clicks. This car here has been through, it's on its, I believe, third set of wheels right now. So it's kind of a result of 510 horsepower. That's what you're going to expect. So moving right along, the body is in very nice shape overall, of course, as I wouldn't expect much less. What I have done though, and if you look here up close, we have the 3M paint protection, but that's, unfortunately, it is 3M, and I'm not here an advocate to talk about the different types of paint protection, but I will say this is the older version of the 3M. And the reason I know that is because when I look around here, you've got scratches like this. That scuff will not come out. You've got scuffs over here. It looks uglier on the video, but it's actually really not that bad. But that's actually on paint protection. This actually has the 3M, and unfortunately, this is not the self-healing product. So you have a scuff here that just looks a lot worse than it actually is. But that's a little mark you've got there. Overall, the body holds up very well. I mean, when you close these doors, they're very tight. It's like a tank. Every single door is holding up very well. Same thing with the back, nothing to report here. So overall, structurally, the body is very tight. No squeaks and rattles, of course. So we move to the inside, and we'll start in the back. Nothing much to report in here. You know, I've got some small children, and they get to often ride in the back seat of this little hot rod. So you would think you'd start to see some wear and tear with kids. Now, I will say with BMW, what they do on these backs, the seat backs, they provide this hard padded arrangement, so that helps the wear and tear. I love BMW for that, and this is just, it's a beautiful thing, so it doesn't take too much of a beating. It doesn't scar up very well, so this is holding up very nicely. The seats are still pretty much perfect. Could use a little bit of a cleaning or a treatment, but the leather seats are holding up and they look more or less immaculate. Close the door. Right on. Tight, tight, tight. Move to the front. Can you hear the pump? So we get into the car. Very tight door. Now, I know I've had I've seen some videos where folks have had issues with this area in here. And this area gets very hot from the transmission, from the car, of course, which happens to be mounted right below there. But this car here, at this point in time, at 50,000 kilometers, is not showing any signs of wear and tear. It basically looks like new, as does every other part here. Every single button is holding up very well. Now, I'll say that too, and I don't know what cars with higher miles have on them look like, but a lot of the buttons, I know even in my Lamborghini, the buttons start to wear and then the symbols go away. See, that's very disappointing, especially on a Lambo where you pay a lot of money for those cars. These cars are holding up very, very well. Overall, interior construction, very nice. The other thing, of course, worth noting is the driver's seat. Now, I look down here in the seat bolster. This is the driver's seat bolster where you would expect to see wear and tear. Other than a few very minor wrinkles, it looks pretty much immaculate along there. Then on the side bolster up the top here, more or less the same story goes here. One little tiny scuff on the side, but more or less perfect otherwise. So it's holding up very, very well. Now, the one thing that isn't holding up so well in these cars, and it seems to be a common trait for a lot of the BMWs of this generation, is this crappy plastic here. I don't know what the story is with that, why they coated it. It's almost like a Plastidip installation from the factory. And this starts to peel away. This one's not as bad. My X5 is really, really bad. But this is starting to show a little wear and tear. Probably from the situation where when you're driving, you got your finger like that, and it's taking a toll, you're rubbing it because you're holding the steering wheel like this. So that is a point of a bit of a contention. So I'm not in love with that concept. Overall, the leather on the steering wheel is very, very nice. Still holding up very well. All the other plastics are very nice and holding up. So how about we go for a little drive and then start talking about some of the sounds, how it feels, and I'll let you know if there's anything odd sounding about it. So let's do a start. Let's do this from start. I'm going to press the start button. So it starts up very, very nicely. It's very smooth. 3 quick cranks and off it goes. So it's idling smooth. There's no problem there. So let's take this thing on the road and see how it sounds. Drive, pull out. Really very little to report. There's a little squeak. I caught a little squeak there just when, last time when I pulled out of the driveway at home, as the car, you know, as I back it down the driveway and there's a little bit of that twist in the chassis, I find that there's a little squeak there. It doesn't seem to, you know, be too, nothing too excessive, but there's just a little bit of chassis squeak there when you twist a little bit coming down sideways on a curb, or off of a curb, I guess, if you will. So there's a little road noise. That's a tire related issue, but there's nothing chassis wise. There's no banging or clunking. I mean, I'm on a pretty good stretch of road. What I do notice though, actually when I turn the car on, and I'll report this, is that when I start up the car and these seat bolsters, they pull in to suck you in when you first start up the car and you get things going, they pull in. That's pretty typical, but these ones are starting to squeak now a little bit. So as the seat bolsters pull in like that, you hear, and it kind of makes not a crunching noise, but you could tell there's a little bit of wear going on there, and I wish there was a way to lubricate that, but as far as I know, there isn't. So I hope these seats don't fail me, but that's your dynamic seats again, of course, you know, at play. There's a, you know, a potential issue impending there. Outside of that, they still work perfectly. There's no issue there, but they do make a different kind of a noise, and you know, we'll have to wait and see how that goes with time. But for now, they do work properly, just a little bit of noise. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video, the short video on wear and tear and how overall the car is looking. And I would say it's holding up very, very well. I'll report to you guys maybe in a year or so on this particular topic again. How is the car holding up? Driving it a lot more nowadays, so we're gonna see how it holds up in a year from now. But so far at 53,000 kilometers, it's running like a champ and looking damn good. Okay, everybody, I hope you liked the video. Give me a like, subscribe, comment, and we'll talk to you in the next one. See you then. Bye-bye.